Definitely. Most banks, I would say about 80 to 90 banks would prefer clients to be in Singapore um, to open a corporate bank account. Reason being they need to do their due diligence face to face, as well as they need to get wet signatures. E-signatures is not valid. So it's best that the clients are in Singapore to open a corporate account. Yep. Okay, the first trip is the most important. Usually it's one trip. Sometimes the client just comes in for 1 or 2 days. So the first trip to the bank is very important. So one trip for the client, yes. For us could be many because once the client has signed the most important documents and has done the due diligence, we can be their assistant submitting other documents. So for client would be once, for us could be more than once. It depends on how many appointments we have. So usually when client says, okay, I'm going to travel to Singapore to do a bank account opening, what we do here in Singapore is we try to make maximum. So we try and see how many days the client's coming. So let's say recently I had a client who came for 3 days. So the first 2 days I maximize. I try to make a lot of appointments with different banks in Singapore and see which ones came through. And we made about 3 trips, 3 different banks a day um, with the client to open a corporate account. Not everything, not every bank would be a successful bank account opening. At least one of it. So we try to maximize the days he comes to the number of banks we go to, hoping that at least 1 or 2 banks would be successful. Most banks are okay. They do welcome us, but really the best 2 banks that I would say it's UOB. UOB is one of the best banks I have experienced, and also DBS banks. Yep, they do require the documents that all other banks needs, but they are more flexible in their needs. So I would say it's more successful with these 2 banks. The client would need to bring their company's tax report, the ROC, if they have a company in Singapore. We also need the director and the shareholder certificate. Also a clear copy of the, if there's a nominee. So if you have a company in Singapore and you want to have a bank in Singapore, you need a nominee director, right? So you need the nominee director's IC copy, passport copies, proof of address. It has to be all certified true copies of the nominee directors. And also the MOA, which is called the Memorandum of Article and Association. We need the suppliers and the clients' invoices. So these are all the most important documents that you need to submit to the bank when the client's here in Singapore. First of all, like I said in earlier, we need to find out how many days the client's coming to Singapore, right? And then we try to maximize the number of appointments with different banks for the clients. So then they have more opportunities with other banks, more successful rates actually. And then we quickly do a client's agenda for them, and also ensure that we inform the clients what's the most important documents they have to physically bring with them, or even we can print it for them, but some of them are certified true copies, so they have to bring the originals to provide to the bank. So we will tell to make things easier for the clients and make sure the documents are all in set to submit to the bank, so that we don't have to make multiple trips. We will ensure clients have got everything that's required. And then once the client has submitted the documents to the bank, the client has to leave, right? So what we do is we coordinate very closely with the banks to ensure something's happening, like the banks are processing the documents, processing the application, and then we inform every week or every time when the bank comes to us, we inform the client, and just to make sure they know what's happening with this application. So client has got a better understanding what's happening. That's how we assist our client. Okay, so you can go to the website at Healy Consultants and search for Singapore company registrations. And there we have a lot about Singapore company corporation incorporations, and also more information about opening corporate bank accounts in Singapore. That's one of the way you can find out. Or you can also drop us an email at healyconsultants.com. We are very happy. We're very happy to assist anybody who has any questions about opening a company in Singapore or a bank account in Singapore. It would be our pleasure to help them.